Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right. We got some new audio equipment tonight, some new camera equipment. We did some renovations. So I got to grab some stuff here real quick for the live stream. We're going to do some behind the scenes tonight so you guys can see me do some assembly, and we'll use some of this as B-roll footage too. Uh, but we got some SCADIS things, or let me correct my pronunciation, SCODIS, things that we've been building in the background here. So let me grab those and we'll get live here real quick. All right, hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to the live stream here at the Glorious Geeks. As you can see, we've done some little bit upgrades here behind me. We're getting ready to do some improvements, not only for the live stream, but for our recording purposes. We got gifted a little bit early some new camera equipment that we're trying out. If you can hear my chair squeaking, I'll get a little bit of oil on that. But tonight it's a little bit of behind the scenes, and I'll get you guys a feel for what you think we're doing next here. And I hope you're excited. Got some Dots pretzels here. Got our ice water in preparation. Uh, I'll try not to drink any of this Gorilla Glue because I'm sure that won't be very good for me. But I hope everyone is doing well on this Christmas Eve. I'm gonna sit to the side here. So last week we were doing a few things with Frozen Arco over there in the corner. I have not had a chance to troubleshoot why the firmware wasn't updating yet. It is on my to-do list, I promise, because I do want to get that chroma kit going. But tonight, I want to talk to you guys all about some rumors that we're hearing from Bamboo, some cool things that we got going as far as some parts that we've gotten, or not parts, but components of machines that we have gotten from companies. I'm in the middle of the unboxing and the assembly of the I believe it's called IBOS Tetris heater. So that's cool. It's the Series X, it's the 4-bay one. It's going to take some assembly, so that'll be fun. We're going to be doing that in this coming week. And let's see, what else do we have on the docket here? We're going to be filming some SCOTUS episodes here. That's part of what we're going to be talking about tonight. I'll get you guys this feedback and feel. We're going to be doing some upgrades for the live stream as well. We've had some. David Walton got my notice. My U1 shipped. All right, David, welcome to the live stream. I am glad you got your new. You got the notice that it shipped or that it's on the ship. Because I got my notice that was on a ship a little while ago. But if it's shipping, that's excellent. Means that we should be getting our U1s very, very, very soon. I'm excited about that. Colin, how's it going? Thank you guys for viewing those videos that we've been putting out, watching those, commenting. That always helps out the metric of the channel. So does the cat comedy here. So, uh, question for you guys: is the audio this week clearer than normal? Drop it in the comments if it is. Got my FedEx tracking should be Saturday. Man, talk about early Christmas. How excellent is that? Again, I hope this audio is clearer than it is normally. Should have some clear camera footage here for you all to view. A little bit of a wider shot as well than the normal live streams. Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. We got some of the e-meet uh, microphones. You can see them here now. So compliments of Abby. Thank you for the early Christmas gifts. You got us a couple of cameras too. We can't get those quite hooked up yet because we need some extension USB ports, 3.0s for those. But we are currently using one of them, and you should see a little. It should be a little clearer today than it is normally. But until we get those USB 3.0s, we won't have the full 4K video. But things should be getting clearer for you all on both audio and visual. If you're wondering what the box that says AMSHT is sitting here, it's not an AMSHT. Ours are over here behind us, hooked up, currently going. This box in front of me is things that I'm going to assemble tonight and show you all a little bit of a behind the scenes preview of what we're doing behind me here for our SCOTUS episodes. So we're going to get all these AMS units put up on a SCADIS behind SCOTUS. It's going to take me a little while to get adjusted to that. Behind me there, you can see that all the cabling has been cleared up there in preparation for these filming these episodes. We got another area down here in the Glorious Grotto. Momo, you were getting the glue all over the place here, bud. Let's put this up over here. We have another area here that the U1 and our Centauri Carbons are actually going to be relocating here probably in the next few weeks as we get preparation for our new machines from not only Frozen, the U1, maybe, let's talk about that rumor now as we get ready for tonight's live stream. That rumor that I'm hearing, and we were talking about it a few weeks ago, is Bamboo has got something in the works, most likely. And Bowhammer, I don't know if you watched their channel or not, did an interview with them at it's one of the events over, I think it was in Germany, that the X1 series, well, the X series from Bamboo is not dead. They are going to be refreshing it. And much like we were talking about earlier, it's either going to be a P2C coming or P2D or an X2C or an X2D. Something's coming with a smaller form factor of the multicolor toolhead. I don't know what it is yet. There's some leaked footage on the toolhead in there. I don't know if it's AI generated or not, but there's something coming. And that's what we're saving our wallets for. Whatever's going on with that. We got the U1 coming, so we're going to be getting into that. Maybe we can get whatever that is, get that at the same time and do a comparison video on that. So, and speaking of comparison videos, that iBoss Tetris Series X, we are going to do a comparison video once we get it assembled with the AMS heaters that we got from Sunlu, and giving our opinion on which one is for who. They both seem to function very well from what all the reviews that I've watched and stuff. So we'll give you our takes on that. Colin, I think they are going to make an A2. I think they're going to refresh all their printers. The A2, I don't know what they're going to do with that, though, if they do that. Since I have the A1 here behind me and the A1 Mini, I don't know I mean, just because I don't know doesn't mean it isn't going to happen, but I don't know what they would upgrade because when they did the A1 and the A1 Mini, they took those nozzles, kind of refreshed them, and then put them on the P2C or P2S and the H series. That's quick swapping nozzle. That's what allowed them to do the Vortex system, I think. So whatever they do, I think it'll be for their Gen 3 units, like testing. Um, but I don't know what they would do with the A2, but that would be cool. I would be excited to see that. A2 with improved purge, like David said, A2 with an improved purge, like Yumi and Anycubic are moving to. Hopefully, that would be very excellent. I actually had an idea on a video for the IKEA Calyx. I won't do any super spoilers here, but if I can ever get my hands on an IKEA Calyx, there's a cool purge system that they have for the A1 that I want to test out. It'd be kind of comical, but don't want to give you any spoilers yet because I am looking at trying to get my hands on one of those. Uh, just because I'd like to have that just for these two units to sit on somewhere else in the studio. Because with the bed moving, they can kind of stick out a little bit. Not so much the A1 Mini, but the A1 sticks out a little bit. I've almost bumped the bed a couple times and knocked it off alignment. So with that being said, tonight we're eating our Dots pretzels with original seasoned pretzel twists. Um, and a couple of things coming up in the future. I don't know when this will happen. I'm hoping in the new year sometime for our channel here is we are looking at getting two things. Not necessarily any machines or anything, but like changing a couple of aspects. One, somebody had sent me an email that sponsor a pretzel. That's kind of a good idea. I like that. Buy me a pretzel, sponsor a pretzel. And then we give them a shout out on the live stream. That would be cool. That's something that we're looking into how to implement that on the live stream. Great idea. And then also on that note, I would want Colin says I would want the A2 to have dual nozzles like the H2D, but it won't likely happen. I actually think it might. I think it might. If it doesn't have the enclosure, it gives them the capability of making a bigger machine because they're not confined by that enclosure. So I think you might be onto something there. Good point. I did not think of that. Um, but and then our second thing for the channel here is this is for what both viewers and companies. We're looking at getting maybe a PO box, and so that someone had commented that they want us to try brands of filament. So if there's a brand of filament that you guys want us to try, you can send that to the PO box that we'll get here in the next couple weeks. And or if there's a company that wants us to try their filament, uh, we'll put that in our video description so that they have the access. Hopefully I don't get like a boatload of things. Good, bad problem to have. I don't know. But those are a couple of things we're looking at implementing behind the scenes since you guys are on the live stream, want to talk to you about and get your feel. If there's any other ideas that you guys have, feel free to drop it in the chat or shoot us an email over at thegloriousgeeks01@gmail.com. We're just looking at how different ways to have fun, support the channel, do things, just thinking out of the box. I really like the sponsor a pretzel. Make me eat a pretzel. I'm not really too sure about eating hot pretzels. It would be the worst. If you if you do the sponsor a pretzel, you get to choose sweet, salty, or high, sweet heat or something like that. And watch me suffer. But um, moving on from that, so the next couple of series that we're going to be filming, we're going to continue our maintenance stuff. Do I have an air filter for my print room? Colin, funny you say that. We are Frozen said it's going to ship in February, which I thought they would ship a little sooner than that, but we have the Frozen Max air filter that they just released coming that we're going to be setting up over here somewhere with their enclosure. it's supposedly the enclosure is big enough to where it's supposed to be able to fit two of the Arcos in it. So I don't know how I'm going to implement that yet, but as part of that, there's a HEPA air filter that we're going to be receiving, and the magnetic thing that attaches to the back of the Arco, all as part of that kit that's coming sometime in January. And that should answer your question, but to go a little further into that, I do want to try some of the different filaments that are out there that are not so much pet friendly, furry supervisor friendly. So I do need one of those if I'm gonna try those different like carbon fiber filaments, ABS filaments, things like that. So we have a vent port up here. It's somewhere in that general area that we can vent it straight outside if we have that enclosure, and then also the ventilation system that goes with that filter. So that is what we're got going on here. We also have the HVAC system for the building is in this room as well. So we want to make sure that no fumes and stuff get anywhere that they're not supposed to. But back to what we're filming, we've got some pretty interesting content that we're coming up. We're going to be continuing the Skådis series. We're also going to be continuing the AMS maintenance series. And as part of these live streams, I want to do like the assembly pieces and show you guys what I'm working on. It's kind of like a little bit of a bonus. Ow, I just need my toolbox down here. Um, it's part of like a little bonus for attending the live stream. You guys get to see what we're doing and how we're doing it. So leading into that, or leaning into that, this we've been. I don't know if you've attended last week's live stream. This has been up here for a minute. There's 4 rolls of filament in there, and I can't remember. 3D Anneal is who designed these brackets, and there's a tool system that goes with it. But we want to lift all of these AMS units up onto the wall here on a SCOTUS panel. In order to do that, the last week and a half, 2 weeks, behind the scenes, I had to. That's why you'll notice it's a little bit cleaned up here. I had to take these shelves down and remount them with the SCOTUS panels wall mounts at the top as well, just to have that added anchor point because there's going to be a lot of weight on them. So that's what we're doing. And as part of tonight's live stream, I got to get over to YouTube real quick. Chat, I need you to answer a question for me. So let me share my screen here in a second. I got to get over to Maker World. Get 3D Anneal's profile pulled up here. All right. So now let me get back to Streamlabs here. I'm going to share my screen with you all. Maybe if it works here. There we go. Share my screen with you all. So this is 3D Anneal. This is their AMS system for the wall that they have out there that I'm so far pretty impressed on. I also like their filament box holder, but maybe someday we'll visit that. But I want to know if you all would be interested in seeing me not only do this part because we're in the middle of filming for the AMS units, but also incorporate the tool holders, or if there's a better one out there. So let me put that in the chat. I got to go over to YouTube here real quick and get you guys get the chat pulled up here. So I go to a live stream. Actually, I could have just mute that. And then, do you all want to see the tool system implement? I don't know how to spell implemented right now. Tool system added as well, or is there something better? And I actually want to add that as a poll. So let me, yes, for tools, something better. Take your time, check out that. I'll drop it in the comments as well, or in the chat, so you guys can see it all. Take your time, vote on that poll, and let me know what you think. Because uh, I want you guys to, you're attending these live streams every week. You guys are investing your time, and I want you to feel part of the community and watch and to help me develop it. Some of the stuff in the background. If there's something that you use, uh, let me know in the comments or in the chat or in a message, even in the direct message email. One of the things that impressed me about the tool system is if, I guess I should share my screen one more time. If you look, the sides, I'll click on the photo and make it bigger. The sides looks like they work with a multi-board, but what also impressed me is they have these drawers in here that attach to the bottom of the brackets. And I have so many build plates, so many build plates. So uh, I want to incorporate some of these build plates in here as well. And they all sit underneath those uh, units here, down about this high. So it keeps things up off the shelf. So maybe we get maybe Bamboo someday sends us a P2S and sends an H2C or whatever. There's more machines coming. That means there's more room on the bench top for additional machines and less build plates in the way. So let me know what your thoughts are in the chat. I appreciate your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. We shape the channel together. Uh, so let me get back on over to Streamlabs here and get you off of screen share, back onto here. So I'm going to take a drink of water here real quick. Please don't knock that over, Momo. Be nice to me today. So we went off and printed a bunch of these because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 AMS units and then 2 AMS HTs. So there's plenty of brackets that are needed. I still have to print the 2 for the AMS HT. What's nice about these brackets is there's a left, it says it on the back, and there's a right. And I don't know if you can see in a camera or not, there is a route for the cables, which is very thoughtful for who designed it. And they print, I don't know if I can get them apart right now, but yeah, here we go. So when they were designing this file, it's actually pretty genius how they did the locking mechanism. And if you open up the file in Maker, in Studio or in Orca Slicer, when you see it, I can't get it all the way back up. This locks into this piece here, and it's almost like when you lock a trailer onto a hitch. There's like a ball, and then there's the piece that goes over it, and it doesn't let it come off. And then how it attaches to the SCADIS is what we're going to be doing here in the live stream tonight, is putting these SCADIS hooks into the back of this. There's also mounting holes, so if you don't want to use the SCODIS, again, I'm trying to get better at the correct pronunciation. You can also anchor it into the wall if you have drywall or 2x4s. If you're going to be putting a lot of these or even one, find your studs and put them on studs so that the weight of the AMS units don't rip it out of drywall. So let's separate these here. It's a right and this is a left. I'm super excited for you, David, to get that U1. I'll have to look at my emails later and see if maybe I got a notification too. What tier were you, like the October backer or the November backers? We were in the November backer here. All right, buddy. Yeah, get down. There's not very much room up here tonight. So if I calculated correctly, I have enough brackets for each machine or each AMS unit. And the nice thing about uh, the AMS ones, if you ever get rid of your original AMS and you go to AMS 2 Pro, they work for both machines. I've tested both the AMS and the AMS 2 Pro up there, and they both sit up there quite nicely. To the left. And shout out to Sunlu. Thank you for sponsoring this part of the upcoming video for the filament, the PETG that we printed these out of. Uh, they sent that to us at no cost to us. So I appreciate them doing that. If you guys want to get your hands on some Sunlu filament, you can use our discount code BeGlorious. It gets you a little bit of a discount and gives us a little bit of affiliate code kickback. I don't know if I can close the poll from here or not, but we'll try. I was November. They also said all backer units are on a boat now. That is incredible to hear, David. I am super excited about that. I'm debating on whether I want to. What do you all think? I'll ask you, our chat family here. Should I wait until April for my enclosure top hat, or should I try to do one of the add-ons that they have available? I think it's uh, $79 and you can get all the acrylic for it. You have to print the frame for it, but it's way cheaper than the top hat if the option was available. When we pre-ordered, I probably wouldn't have pre-ordered the top hat with it, since it looks cooler too, I think. What do you all think? Do you think we should try and make some content on that, or do you think we should just wait for our top cover? My only concern is with our furry management friends here, someone getting into that enclosure. So these are the pieces that go in the back of here. So they slot in. You have to make sure you get the hooks the right orientation. So these go up. So the SCOTUS hooks must go down. Huh. I got one more left and I do it right. Wonder where I put it. Interesting. I'll have to find it at some point. So we're gonna empty all these out here. So many pieces. These are each bracket has 3 hooks. So I think that's all of them there. If not, we'll find out. Hi, Dante. Hi, buddy. If you guys, if you watched our most recent video, you'll get to see Dante try to steal some parts from me during the video. It was pretty funny. Uh, he had a good time watching me do the maintenance on that or the upgrade on that. All right, buddy, you gotta get down. You're gonna knock everything down like all kitty cats do. They like to push stuff. All right. So we'll use this. I'm using Gorilla Clear, Gorilla Glue, bonds virtually everything. I've tried using different adhesives. The only other one that I would say to use, and you guys are just all lovey-dovey tonight. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Since this will be our last live stream before Christmas, I want to wish you all Merry Christmas from our family here at the Glorious Geeks to yours. Thank you all for tuning in every week and watching our live streams and supporting us here on the channel. It means a lot to us, especially because these live streams, they really help get those watch hours for YouTube. Yes, Colin Dante loves to play soccer with the small parts. He loves to play with the small parts. If I'm working on something and he hears one of the parts hits the table, he is over here lickety split. So he's my little quality control guru. So, and I have to do a correction. There are 4 clips for every bracket, not 3. And there sometimes can be a little bit of a pain to get in there, but once you get them in there, they're usually pretty good to go. There we go. And this is what you guys get to see me do. Usually I'll do this off on camera, but I want you guys to get a little bit of the behind the scenes. And sometimes it can be a little tough to get these in there, especially if like one of your printers doesn't have like perfect tolerances. Here it goes. And sometimes you have to use the tabletop to help you, or a hammer. Hammers work pretty well. But it's important to get them in there before the glue sets in. The clear Gorilla Glue takes a while, so it's fun doing it now, so that when I want to film all this later, uh, they'll be ready to go. All the glue will be dry, and since I'm having such a hard time getting them in there, I'm hoping that even without the glue, they'd be difficult to get out. Because with the AMS units, each one of these with 10 or 2 kilograms worth of filament, it could be about 40 or 50 pounds, I would think, hanging up there on the SCOTUS panels. Um, and my goal is to get 2 of these on each panel. And you'll get to see, but I'll give you a sneak peek ahead of time. Once I get these up there, I'm going to run some LEDs behind them, and it's going to look pretty cool. But hey, this is why we test. So, live stream, you get to see what happens when things don't go according to plan. This has been on the wall for 2 weeks. Nothing's broken on it, thankfully. But one of the brackets came unglued. So as you can see, it did land on my A1 Mini here, but it does not look like it hurt it. This will be good blooper footage for later. David, did you reach out to Frozen on your firmware issue? Yes, they recommended getting a new USB chip, and then also after reviewing the footage, they said that that second update Arco folder doesn't need to be in there. So I'm going to try that here probably on our next live stream to make sure you get that. But we're going to take a look and see what's going on here. So our bracket just came off the wall, and it looks like the glue did not hold as well as I would liked it to. So we might have to re-examine this. Man, it took 2 weeks for it to happen, though. Interesting. So not the clips didn't break, so that's a good sign. It was literally they just pulled out of there because the glue wasn't strong enough, and maybe even not enough glue in there. So, I'll have to readjust this. But this is why we test things, because I would have hated for this to happen with all of the units up there. Your other AMS is on the printer that is printing. It got knocked down too. You are correct. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. So now we have to go back to the drawing board on, do we continue on with this plan, or do we really reevaluate these brackets. Now there is a stud behind here that if I lower them down to about here, I can put the bottom screw into a stud, and I might wind up doing that. I put a 2x4 into the concrete behind this Skådis panel, and even looking at this level of this riser here, I can still do it even if I did it above the P1Ss. So maybe that's what we do going forward to help hold the weight instead of all pulling on just the brackets. You should use gloop as it chemically welds the part together. So you're saying 3D gloop? Uh, I will do that. I will get some 3D gloop ordered. I don't know how long. The only problem, and that's the problem I have with 3D gloop, is it takes forever to get here. So I might explore. I'll order some of that, but I'll also see if I can't get some additional adhesive to try this with. You know what else I could do? No, I don't know if that would work either. I was thinking about I could also PETG weld with a 3D pen, but it would have to be pretty flush. But maybe that's what I'll do. I'll glue it and then also 3D weld it with a 3D pen while I wait for the 3D glue to get here. But I'm glad you guys got to witness that. You watched our A/B testing. Wait a minute here. So I'm looking at this one. So this is the left panel. This is why I only thought it had 3. This has 3. The left side has 3, and the right side has 4. Interesting. I wonder if that's why the left side gave out, because it only has 3. Iceman74! Welcome to the live stream. You just missed an awesome live blunder. We had an AMS unit up on the wall fall off the wall. I gotta see, looks like our A1 stopped here. Looks like it just paused itself. So we'll have to see if we can't do some modifications to these. Nothing broke. It's just that the connector pieces weren't, this glue didn't hold up as much as I would have thought it would have. So see if we can get some. I wonder if we can get some 3D glue on Amazon. Did you go back and watch it, Iceman? Yeah. It was. I'm just sitting here talking. All it was pretty wild. I'm gonna see if there's if Amazon's got some 3D gloop available on there. 3D gloop. There's 3D printer adhesive, but I don't see any 3D gloop on there. If you guys have any, I'll order some 3D gloop. I just hope it gets here quickly. I'd like to get this recorded, but gotta make sure it goes up there before I can even record it. There's other parts I can record before. Matter Hacker ships gloop pretty quickly. All right, I'll get it from Matter Hackers then. Thank you for that, David. But so I guess I won't be gluing these tonight. Now I know I tested the white ones first because they're the same material, just white and black PETG. But I'm not going to use the white ones because I want black ones up there. But now I know I've got to use some sort of different glue. And then I got to test them again. That took 2 weeks to fall down. So I'd hate for a cat to be up on top of one of those things, even though they're slanted. That's why I like them so much. They're slanted, so they're less likely to sit up there. But show you guys another sneak peek here real quick. I got some other SCOTUS items. We'll be filming for live stream content, or not live stream content, but for our next SCOTUS video. So these little connector pieces, I'll see if I can't find them on Maker World, are the Hydra cables. So let's get back here. Cable management. SCOTUS. Here we go. Let's share my screen with you all. So screen capture on, webcam off. So over on Maker World by Layercraft Creation, they have these SCOTUS cable management systems. So I have both the vertical and the horizontal. If you look here, this actually might, you can find the original file here. Put this in the chat for you all. You're going to see yourselves here for a second. And then if you scroll down, you can see the remix, and then it says there's this horizontal file. It's good to print them both off. If you look at some of our previous videos, I already had them up at one point. Here's the other version for you all. I already had them up at one point, and they're really handy on routing your cables. I wouldn't route your AMS units through them, the PTFE tubes, because it puts too much resistance. There's a whole other file that I'm going to print off for that. But this works really well for your cable management and keeping things neat and tidy. It really helped when I had the printers up there, because like now I have cables where you guys can't see them, but it's just another file that we'll be going over in the video. But the behind the scenes for you all there. So I'll get that 3D Gloop from Matter Hackers and see if I can't get that going there. I used 3D Gloop. There's back before I was on YouTube. I made by Printable Accessories. You can make your own enclosure system for any printer. It's universal. You can make it as big as you want or small. And I use a lot of 3D Gloop. Then it's just super pricey and it didn't ship very quickly. But since I'm only using a little bit here, and I shouldn't say super pricey. You pay for your quality. Obviously, Gorilla Glue is not going to cut our problem here. But with 3D Glue, from what I can tell, for like Uncle Jesse and other people I've seen use it, a little bit does go a long way. So we'll get some of that over here so we can get this AMS unit back up on the wall. Because I do want them up there to clear up some space and get our tools organized. Now, as far as tools, do you all have any tool systems that you use at where you print to help keep things organized? I'm a big fan of the Gridfinity system. There is a file that you can use that puts your Gridfinity up on the SCOTUS. I wonder if I can show you all that real quick. Lots of screen share tonight, guys. Lots of screen share. And Merry Christmas to you all. If that's not what I want. I want the interwebs. So we're gonna do Gridfinity SCOTUS. And it is, I think right here, this file. Gridfinity right here. This is what I use for our arts and crafts fairs that we go to and take our 3D prints to. Super handy. There's all shapes and sizes. I think the biggest is like a 6x6.
And they all come in the same file. They're on different build plates, which is nice. Mr. Makas, shout out to you. You put a lot of work into organizing this and getting it. Uh, I use it a lot, a lot, a lot. But you can put anything that's in the Gridfinity system up on your SCOTUS panels. So it's super handy to have. I use it all, everywhere, except for behind me, because we just did some renovations. Let me get you guys off of screen share. And but yeah, if you have any tool systems that you use, drop them in the comments, send them to me email. I am always open to figuring out what works and obviously what doesn't work. So the real purpose of me wanting to do that up on the panels is when I do the AMS spa day, or not the AMS spa days too, but the machine spa days, being able to take the printers from their locations and over to the table without having to disconnect and lift off all the AMS units would be super helpful. And then once you get so many AMS units in an area, it really clogs things up. And I noticed from when I had this one up here that when it's routed from above, it's really efficient. You don't get as much drag, or if it's directly below, it does the one curve, and it just, especially with the AMS 2 Pros and the AMS HT, it really does not have much drag to it. So the less drag, the better for me, especially because I like to print in glow filaments, uh, that abrasive type filament, which means less PTFE tubing I have to swap out. So, and then you'll see, well, you guys can't really see because I got some filament in the way. So it fell off the wall. Got behind here, our other Centauri carbon is down here. Again, if you're just joining us on a live stream, let me catch you up on some of the things that we're going to be doing. We're doing a little bit of renovating here in the studio. You can see some of the things behind me have cleaned up. Camera quality's gotten better thanks to Abby. She got us a early Christmas present. She got us a couple of the eMeet cameras. And if you're listening, hopefully our audio is a little bit better. She also got us a headset. So thank you, Abby. Shout out to you for the wonderful Christmas presents. Thank you. Um, but we're doing some renovating. Last week, I think it was in between last week's episode and this week's episode for live stream. I cleaned all this up behind us here, got those panels anchored with their mounting bars to the top there, got all the cabling cleaned up. Everything's nice and flush. Uh, and we got all those mounted level. There's no like bowing or anything. We got all the brackets on the sides here. So it should be able to hold a ton of weight. Just our clips didn't hold up here. So then we're going to be moving the Centauri carbons over to their own little locale. And then eventually, at some point, we'll get one of the IKEA Calyx uh, pieces, and we'll do something fun with the A1 and A1 minis, or A1 and A1 mini that we have. There's a cool mod that you can do out there to handle the poop on there. And without giving too much away, it's a little while out still, but if you put an LED light in and you print off one of these files into the Calyx bin, you can have the purge go into the bin and you can watch it time lapse fill up through the. You have to use translucent PETG for it, but and then at the end, once it fills up, you can open up the doors and it all pours out. So it's something cool I want to try, just for the humor aspect, and it's actually super super useful for purge management. Hopefully, with our U1, we won't be having to worry about that too much more. H2D or H2S or H2C. Colin, if that's you asking, which machine I would prefer. I don't have any of them, but from all of them, and I've watched a ton of them. Uh, H2C, and here's why. I have plenty of AMS units to use with the machine. I have plenty of different types of filament to use with the machine, and I want the bigger build plate. So that's why I would choose that over the H2D, because the H2D, while it is essentially the same machine as the H2C without the nozzle swaps, and it will save you filament because it's got the dual nozzles, the H2C has all that too. So you're just, yeah, you got to spend a little bit more money in the long run, or in the short term, I should say, but you're going to save more money in filament waste in the long run. So the short term versus long term, you'll save more money with the H2D in the short term, but in the long term, you're going to get your color changes better, and you'll save, in theory, you should save more money with your filament cost from saving from purge and time. Now, the U1, where it's going to beat the H2C, is this, it's not going to have to use the AMS units to pull the filament back and push it forward, because it's still got to do that, I believe, with the H2C. Even if it's still, even with the nozzle swapping, it's still got to retract the filament and push it back in. However, it's only limited to 4 colors. Yes, there's ways you can go about it that will, if you do pauses and swap out filament, and you can get more colors out of it. But stock machine to stock machine, you're gonna get more color changes more efficiently. I would think out of the H2C, but I don't know. I don't have either machine yet. The U1, where I'm excited, most of my colors are 4 colors. I am super excited to get that for our little Hatchy Pals that we print. Those are almost all 4 colors, unless I do something exotic, and then that's fine. I can use a P1S for that one particular print, or I can do cool eggs or cool collector containers for our craft fairs. I think the U1, from what I've been seeing on the backer forum on Facebook, the review videos, that printer is coming out to be very high quality. Even Uncle Jesse was very impressed with it. Now, I'm already wishing that I had gotten a second one. It's not even here yet. Will I still feel that way when it gets here? I don't know. But I am excited for it. It is going to change. It's already changing the game. So I know the Prusa Core 1 has got the index system that's coming out, but I think that's still a ways out yet. Yes, the initial people got in and they'll get their printers eventually, but I think the 2 multicolors that are changing things are going to be Bamboo and whatever they release in Q1 of this coming year. I know they're releasing something. Well, I don't know, but I have a very strong hunch that they're releasing something. And then the U1, if Snapmaker doesn't release a bigger version of the U1, I will be very, very surprised, because it should not. I'm not an R&D developer. Don't quote me on this, but it should not be hard to take what they did with the U1, make it a bigger machine with a tool head or 2 extra. I think if they did 2 tool heads extra, 6 tool head machine, I think that would, even if they did it at a $1,500 price, Iceman 70, Iceman 74, you're getting your machine today? You weren't supposed to be here today? And well, guess what? Christmas Eve. You're gonna have a wonderful Christmas present. It's gonna be here tomorrow. You watch. If mine gets here tomorrow, I will be. I don't think so, because I was in that November early bird backer tier. I think it's going to be after Christmas between me. I'm hoping between Christmas and New Year's I get it, and which is okay, because right now I don't have anywhere on the tabletop to put it. It's a pretty big machine from what I hear. It's probably as big as the Arco, if I have heard correctly and seen correctly in the reviews. So
we're excited about that though. You guys gotta let me know. Even if we're offline, hit us up on Facebook. Send me photos, even into the email, gloriousgeeks01 at gmail.com. Show me what you're printing. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Especially since we're getting right there at Christmas time. This is cool. This is cool. Uh, there are so many things I am already. I'm sure Abby is so tired of hearing about what I want to print on that machine. Uh, but it's gonna be a I will be surprised if Bamboo does not come out with something in Q1 to compete with it. They've already got a jump start on Bamboo, and I'm surprised they got this far. Yes, the H2C came out as an answer, but not an answer because it's way too much. It's you can almost get 3 times as many snap makers as U1s as you can in H2C. So if Bamboo doesn't fill that price gap with the multicolor printer that is capable of no purge or less purge, even, I will be surprised because if it's not the X2C or X2D, P2D, P2C, if we get to July or June of next year and they don't have an answer for that, I will eat my words. I'll eat a hot pretzel. But I can't wait for you either, Iceman. Can't wait. It's gonna be epic. There's a I don't know if you guys also did or not, but I ordered the point 0.6 nozzles with it because I do use that glow filament and it makes it easier to come through that, lack of a better word, orifice in the nozzle. It's less likely to get clogged, less wear, and you still get pretty good quality prints, especially when you print bigger. Uh, David Walton, what was the point of the H2D if they were coming out with the H2C? I think the U1 made them release the H2C 6 months earlier. I actually think you're correct. I think it pushed all of Bamboo's timeline up. I think there was in their H2C was in late R&D, and they said, okay, you know what, we can't wait for this anymore. We got to have an answer. And I think it was even still too late because the price point of the Snapmaker U1 is much, much lower than the H2C. So check your order status. They are updating shipping dates. Oh, you're telling me that? Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys, pulling out my phone while I'm on live stream. Uh, let's see. Um, let's see. You guys, like so many notifications, and not the one I'm looking for. AccountSnapmaker.com. Let's see my orders. View details. Unfortunately for me, mine still says status in transit by sea. Estimated arrival at California port December 26th to December 30th. Estimated arrival at U.S. warehouse January 5th to January 13th. Estimated delivery to me January 15th to January 25th. Will it be updated by Christmas for me? An early Christmas present? That would be cool. But I'm happy for you all because you're getting yours sooner. So we'll see. If it gets here, it gets here. If not, you guys got to send me photos. Send me photos, or send us photos. Show me what you're printing. Print a pretzel for me if you have the time. If you don't have everything, if your queue isn't full. I was a late backer, David. I know you said yours said it arrived at the warehouse and was shipped by 12/26. Uh, yeah, I was a late backer. I waited till the very last day. I mean, I did get in. Actually, I think it was the last 3 days, and I got into the November early bird tier, but I don't know if because I waited so long, if that put me in a later queue or not. But that's I'm just gonna be happy that I'm gonna have a machine and I won't have to wait until April to get it. Now I don't know what's gonna happen with Bamboo, but I'm saving a little bit of rainy day funds to see what they're gonna do.
in Q1. Let's see what they do. Maybe I can get my hands on, as long as it's not $50 million like the H2C. It's above my price range. I say $50 million, but I mean it's above my current price range. Some folks might have, be able to get that price range, but it's I'm excited for where the multicolor world is going to. I think 2026 and maybe even 2027 is going to change. Colin, I've recently been printing stuff for SCOTUS on my P1S. Oh, Colin, have you seen that there's a SCOTUS panel for the P1S, or SCOTUS riser for the P1S? All three of our P1Ss have that riser. Would you like drop it in the comments if you would like a link to that? David, I waited was only a week before it ended. Now it was coming. Okay, so maybe they just haven't updated my order status yet. uh, Iceman 74. Well, it's sad. I will have the U1 before I get the chroma kit for the Arco. Uh, I got mine. My firmware is not updated yet. Maybe I'll get mine before. No, I really want to get my firmware updated. I need to get a USB stick, and Amazon is, with the holidays, it's taking a little longer to get here. So I could go to Walmart and get one, but I ordered a specific one that's supposed to be super high quality. So hopefully it gets here. And they also recommended that I don't. I thought I tried that on the live stream. Maybe I didn't. There's that extra zip file that is the update dot or underscore arco in there that they said don't put in there. So I'll try that and see what happens. If not, I don't know what to do. Because currently that means I can only. Actually, does that mean I can only print single color because I don't have that piece anymore? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm I have got a mini print farm here. I'm not going to have one of my machines down for too much longer. The Arco does print well. Great first layer. Uh, I just got to get mine going. I'm excited for the large build volume. Even if, um, David, if you have your Arco, your Chroma kit installed, uh, would you say your Chroma kit is as good of quality as an AMS from Bamboo when it comes to printing with multicolor? Because to me, that makes a difference, because that 300 by 300 build plate, if I can do our little figurines on there, that's like an extra 20 figurines I can get for the same filament purge, which is better savings. Oh, and if you guys are wondering what is going on our Centauri carbon here that's so green and great, we're printing a late Christmas gift for one of our customers. It's the top to a 3D dragon egg by Squin. We covered that in our uh, Dragon Prince for Kids video a while back, probably 4 or 5 months ago. But they ordered a bamboo dragon from Cinderwing 3D, and we're getting that out to them bright and early on Christmas Eve tomorrow. So assuming that nothing crazy happens with that, it's going pretty well. The bottom half is printed excellent, and it's the gradient filament by Tech Sonar. Colin, you actually asked us in the comments of our most recent video about a couple of different cheap filaments, and I think this, I'll bring it up on Amazon here in a second. It's weird how you order it, but it's Tech Sonar 3D filament, and this is a really cool gradient filament that I like to use. It's like a light green to a, well, you can see it on the egg over there. But David, I haven't installed it yet after Christmas at this point. It might be after you won. Uh, Let me get that pulled up on Amazon over here for Colin, because he did drop that comment on our video, and I want to give that to him. Orders. So I'll share my screen. So as far as gradient filament goes, this is one of the cheaper ones that I've seen out there, but it prints great. Let me share my screen so you all can see. Uh, so as far as gradient filaments go, this filament by Tico Sonar, I used the Sunlu profile for it, the PLA Plus profile. Prints fine. Actually, prints just like Sunlu filament. I don't know who makes it. Obviously, Tico Sonar. Uh, they got all sorts of different gradients. I've used the blue and I've used the green. I might have used one more. I don't remember which other color, but both of them print out great. I've actually got the blue printing on the other printer. But as far as gradient filament goes, that price is one of the lowest prices I've seen for gradient filament. Don't buy all this up, guys. But there is a caveat. For some reason, I don't know if it's just because on Amazon, I haven't ordered from their official website. I haven't been able to find it yet. You can only order one spool at a time. So you got to place an order, buy it, place another order, buy it, place another order, buy it if you want 3 spools. So, uh, but this is their matte colored green. You got their blue. Uh, I have a roll of, where is the other one? This one right here, I have a roll of this orange to peach gradient. I use it for some of like the foxes and stuff that I have that printed off from Cinder Ring. But these two are the ones I get the most. And it's an affordable price. So I just wanted to share that with you guys in case you are into getting some PLA gradient filament. Let me get you guys off this screen and back onto the live stream. Andrew Crabb, welcome to the live stream. Glad you could join us on tonight's episode. Yeah, Colin, if you get into any gradient filament, it's a great filament to get if you want to do glow in the dark. Stay tuned for next week. Remind me on the next week's live stream, and I'll show you what glow in the dark filament we use and how it is not as abrasive on our machines as some others. Trade secret. The outside isn't as abrasive as some of the other ones. I don't know if it's like if they put a coating on there. It doesn't cause any clogs on our machine, but sneak peek for that. Remind me next week, and I will get that to you. You'll still have to replace your PTFE tubing frequently, just not as frequent as there's 2 different glow in the darks, and they're gradient ones. Andrew, have you got your chroma kit yet? And if you've not, you should go back in the live stream for about 30 minutes ago and you get to watch something hilarious happen. And I'm sitting here talking and something falls out the wall. Uh, or you can, after I publish the video later, you can check it out. It was pretty funny. I'll have to put a short out on it. So let's see here. So make sure I don't eat any of our SCOTUS hooks. So you got your chroma kit. Is it installed yet? Have you got it running? Because as far as I'm tracking, none of us on the live stream has got their chroma kit hooked up yet. We all got it, and we still don't have it hooked up. And Merry Christmas to you, sir. Merry Christmas to all of you. If you're on the live stream, thank you for attending in. I appreciate your dedication and your support of this channel. Our subscriber count is growing daily, as are our watch hours. Those watch hours are the last thing we got to do to get the monetization. We're just at about 1,000 watch hours now, and we got to get that 3,000 mark. So we got to keep making those long form content. So we're going to keep doing these live streams, all sorts of fun stuff. Having more, I thought for sure that falling off that wall and hitting that A1 would have messed up the alignment of the tool head. As far as I'm aware of, it is not. It doesn't look like it. There's no layer shifts. That's surprising because it literally stopped the bed. The bed wasn't going back and forth. So it resumed. Andrew Crop, been using it. Printed some little 3D present packages with multicolor, red and white with PLA. I've been doing the same thing for our Hatchy Pals. Little present packages. Um, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thank you guys. I hope you guys are all going to have a Merry Christmas. If you got printers on your wish list, I hope you get all your printers on your wish list. If you got anything on your wish list, I hope you get them. Or anything on your wish list. If you're on Santa's nice list, may you be merry and get everything on your wish list. Looks like one of our other printers might have paused. Let's see. You guys get to see a little bit of troubleshooting tonight too if one of my printers is paused. Yeah, let's see. Currently, square box number 2 is paused. Our P1S is paused. So maybe you guys can help me troubleshoot this. I've been fighting this thing all day today. I'll share my screen with you so you can see, oops, what I see when I open up Studio. Studio's down here. Thought I had it on my bar here. So I don't know if it's the same HMS error that I was getting earlier today, but it kept saying that I had filament stuck in the tool head, and I didn't. Swapped out the nozzle, did a calibration, and it's a hardened steel nozzle, so it shouldn't be any issue. I actually tore apart the AMS, put it all back together. There's no filament stuck in the tubes. I even took apart the AMS HT. There's no filament in that tube. So I'm kind of at a loss on what's causing this error. Maybe the HMS will have a different code this time. So we're gonna go, oops. I haven't updated to this yet. I'm not sure if I want to yet or not. I haven't looked at the update package yet. Failed to pull out filament from the extruder. This might be caused by clogged extruder or broken filament inside the extruder. This is the same code I was getting earlier. So I actually got it right. I got it at 98% of full build plate. It was rough. So I'm gonna exit out of this. I want to go into AMS or HMS. AMSA slot 4 filament may be broken in the tool head. And this is where it takes you all to the codes. So we can go back to here. And somewhere in here, there's a code that I should be able to figure out, or I can go look at the actual machine. What are your thoughts? What is causing this issue? What do you think? Let's go back to the live stream and see what you all say. Is the filament tangled? Colin, let's see. AMS slot 4, which is this one here. I don't know if you can see, but there is no tangle. I'll pull it out here. We'll stretch it for a while. See if there's any tangle. Now, what I will say is sometimes I've noticed with the AMS units that once you use so much filament off a roll, the lighter it gets, this older AMS style, the OG AMS unit can sometimes throw a code because it's too light. I'm looking at going, and I think it's a print by K2 Kevin. Shout out to him. I think there's a spool weight that you can print and put like batteries in it. I got a stack of batteries over there to give the roll more weight, but I'm not sure if that's what's causing our code. So I'm going to stick this back in here. And the indicator light came back on, so there's another code I'll tell you guys about in a minute too. And I'm pretty sure the Hall sensor in slot number 2 is going bad. So I'm going to have to replace that, and I'll do that on a video for you all. So no tangle on the filament on that one. Let's see what happens. Andrew, no, I did not get my firmware updated. It I did reach out to Frozen after the live stream, and they recommended that I get a new USB stick. And when I go to update to not include that extra Frozen underscore Arco zip file that comes in the file. So I'll give that a shot when it comes out there. So let's go back to our studio here. We don't want that. We want studio. So I'm going to click resume and see what happens. I failed to pull out filament from the extruder. So you guys can, I'll put the camera up here so you can see. Right now I'm printing in PETG. I'm printing the, I don't know if it's on the, let's see. I'm printing these little leaf dragons from Cinderwing 3D right now. I've got a commercial membership for her. She just released all these, and I'm going through. Don't be stealing my ideas, anyone. But this leaf dragon, I'm doing some cool gradient filaments with it, but I'm doing the 4 seasons because they're leaves. So this one is the winter one I'm doing. So the colors, yeah, it's gray, but I'm using translucent filament, and these blue leaves I'm actually doing with the ice gradient filament from Strong Hero 3D. It's going to turn out pretty cool, I think. It's always a hypothesis until it comes out. But let's go into our device here and see. I don't know why my camera's not initializing either. That's interesting. There it goes. So you can see, maybe you can see, it could be kind of blurry here. So we're still getting that same error. We're gonna 078003. See, we can't find that on this list here. Oh God, it's a long list. 07. 008003. I might not have typed that in right. Let's see. Zero dash 08. I have a hard time remembering numbers. Let's go back to our. Oh no, I did that right. Is there a space there though? That's for the P2S, so that's not the wrong radio code. So let's try just searching 8003. Nope. We can go by P series though. P1S. It's a toolhead code. It just brings up the photo. There's a ton of codes to look through. Let me check the comments to see if you guys have said anything. Currently stuck on what to do with that code. Because usually that means there's something stuck in it. So let me go back and take you off screen share so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, you guys weren't on screen share, my bad. So I was just going through the codes, and there's a lot of codes on there, and none of them are, the one that I have isn't pulling up. So checking the PTFE tubes. There's nothing stuck in the PTFE tubes. That I can see, anyways. I'm gonna see if it'll run. I want to see if it'll run the filament through it and see if it'll at least get to the tool head. This is where I need like a monitor up here so I can see your guys' comments. So this is where I would normally, there's no, take the glass off here, set it down nicely because I don't want to break any glass. So there's no filament stuck in the PTFE tube from the printhead. It's an empty tube, and we've only gotten a little bit on the build plate, so I don't know what's going on. So this is where I would normally, and drop it in the comments if you guys think that I should not do this, where I would normally take my no clogger, since it's preheated, see if it will clear it out. Actually, I'm going to use this other one that's right next to the machine. So I remove the PTFE tube off of there, disconnect the PTFE tube. Since it's still preheated at 250 degrees, I send this through to clear out any old filament because it's giving me that code. It's saying filament wasn't pulled through or pulled back. So we cleared that. I watched some filament purge out, probably what was stuck in the hot end. What this does is it goes through, should push anything that's stuck in the gears down. And this is, you just watched that video that I did with the Panda Claw, and this is the machine that we did that upgrade on. No, this is the original Panda Claw we have. That's the one that we did the upgrade on. What that does is it pushes it through the Panda Claw, and if it is stuck in there, since the Panda Claw is open, in theory, any of that debris has a place to go instead of being further jammed in the gears. So I'm going to click play, resume, and see if that fixed it. Did it fix it? I don't know. Did I break something? Probably not, but maybe. Who knows? But let's move this back so it doesn't fall off. Now, Colin, these Skådis panels, you can print them on your printer. See if this is going to go. Interesting. So that it cleared filament out of it, but now let's see if it's, I'll screen share again with you all. Let's see if it cleared that code out of Studio. It doesn't look like it did. Failed to pull out filament from an extruder. This might be caused by a clogged extruder, which it isn't clogged anymore. I just pushed it out of there. Or filament broken inside the extruder, which again, it shouldn't be in there. It's not even pushing any of the filament out of the AMS though. I'm going to try resuming it one more time just in case it didn't clear its own code. And it only got through the blue pieces that go on the build plate. It didn't do any of the clear. So this is a puzzle. Not sure why it's doing this. This is what it was doing to me earlier today too. I thought I fixed it by switching out the nozzle and doing a calibration, but it's telling me that it's not happy. Yep, we're still getting the same code. What are your guys' thoughts? Drop in the comments. Let me know what you think. Get you off of the infinite screen share here. That's a puzzle. But I've yet to run into this particular issue on any of my machines. as far as the error code and not being able to resolve it. So I'm curious if you all have. What I could do, possibly. You're wondering what I'm doing right now. I just realized something. Earlier today, it was the same filament that was coming out of the AMSHT that when it was trying to switch to that, it wouldn't switch. Like it wouldn't push out from the AMSHT. And if you're wondering why I was reaching behind the printer, I was checking to make sure that the buffer spring in the back wasn't stuck. Because I've seen that happen before too. So what I'm going to check now, I checked it earlier. There wasn't any issue on it, but I'll check it again now. I'm going to take this out of here and just in case there's something stuck in here. Maybe this filament broke off inside of it instead of the other. Oh, I never took this out of there. Interesting. This one, you do have to remove the bottom of the AMS unit to get to the PTFE2, which I thought they fixed in the original when they went from the original AMS to the AMS HT. I'm going to release a video on how to do maintenance on this pretty soon. I did all the recording for it, but it is, in my personal opinion, the AMS HT is just as rough to work on as the original AMS. It's better when it pushes out filament. It's got those servo motors, but there are so many cords in the bottom of this. You gotta be really careful. Oh, that's right. So you gotta take the screws out of the bottom in order to take, and don't lose your screws. Set those aside there. You gotta take the screws out of the bottom and then flip it back over to open it up. Again, all I'm doing is checking to make sure that there's nothing stuck in my PTFE tube. So I unclip the back. I'm gonna unclip the front. It's probably hard to see on a live stream right now. Apologize. So there's the PTFE tube. There doesn't appear to be anything in it or any wear or tear. It's still a perfectly round tube. So I'm going to clip that back into place. Clip it back into its home over here. That's back in its home. I'm going to very gingerly put this back in there, making sure that none of my cables pinch or anything. I just wish they would have made the PTFE tube a little bit more accessible on these, like they did with the AMS2 Pro from the inside, right underneath the module. Put our screws back in it. These little cobalt screwdrivers are the best. You gotta be careful though when you're working on your P1S nozzles or any of your hot ends. Anything that has a magnet on it, be careful because there are tiny magnets on the end of this screwdriver. So if you're working around your hall sensors and stuff like that, just be careful you don't get too close. Okay, that's not moving around. That's good. Put this back. Hmm. Plug it back in, and I'll put the filament back in it. I'll put its PTFE tube back in it. Put this filament back in there. I don't think that would have fixed anything, but who knows? I'll click resume again, see if it fixed anything. I didn't really do anything, but we'll see. Perks of trying to figure out a new problem. If you're just joining us on the live stream while we wait for that to load up and see if it'll fix, there's a couple of changes that are coming to the channel in the next, I don't know, let's say 2 weeks, maybe a month. We're going to be doing buy me a pretzel or sponsor a pretzel. I don't know what I want to exactly call it yet, but I don't know my package. You guys can sponsor a pretzel, and I'll give you a shout out if you do that. And you'll get to choose one of three: salty, sweet, or heat. I feel like everybody's gonna make me eat hot pretzels. I'm gonna die. We'll get a bag of pretzels and we'll eat them in your honor. Oops, as I dropped the bag like that. And the second thing, what did I say it was? Oh, we're getting a PO box. So we're gonna get a PO box if you guys want us to try out a specific filament, or if any companies out there want to send us a specific filament to try. Um, uh, and we'll check it out. Well, it's not going to hurt our printers. We'll give us some test prints and let you know what our thoughts are. So that's something we're doing. So that way you guys if you want, or if you want to send us a letter to your heart's content, you'll have that address available for us to receive things from you if you want. So that's super exciting. Those are the little changes. What's the word I'm looking for? Little changes thematically. And then also you're going to start seeing things like the SCOTUS panels behind me got all realigned. Everything's cleaned up there. We got a new home for our Centauri carbons that is being built as we speak. I'll probably start throwing out some of that behind the scene footage, maybe over on Patreon as like little posts or something. So you guys can see my mess and the real behind the scenes footage of what's going on with these upgrades that we're doing. And what you'll get to see on the live streams is I'm working on getting a printer live stream area. So you'll see me, and then in part of the grotto somewhere else down here, we'll have our other printers, and then we can switch over there, just like behind me. You can see what's going on with them. And you'll get to see our cool filament racks that we have with the SCOTUS panels. And we'll be using some of these and some of the other things that we'll cover in the upcoming SCOTUS segments just to do some sort of a cool LED theme. Just geek gloriously is what we're going to be doing. So that's something that we were talking about earlier in the live stream. We're talking about how we're going to do a comparison video between, once we get the assembled, the IBOS Tetris Series X and the AMS heaters that we use. We just got that in. I'm currently recording the footage for that. There are a lot of parts to that, but in that breakdown between the two, we'll let you know who this is for, who this one's for, in our opinion, and what they do and what they don't do. So we're looking forward to testing that out. We'll get that unboxing and assembly video out to you guys as soon as I'm done recording the assembly and doing the editing on that. So you can look forward to that too. So, but let's get back to this printer and see what's going on with it, because it's still not printing. It's still telling me there might be filament broken inside the extruder. Oh, I wonder. Drop it in the comments if you guys think that this might mean my Hall sensor is going out. I have seen this before with a Hall sensor, where it doesn't read properly that the filament is not in the hot end anymore. It says AMS slot 4 may be broken in the tool head. Just share my screen with you all. So, screen capture. So you can see what I'm seeing. So here's the printer. Failed to pull out the filament from the extruder. This might be caused by a clog extruder or filament broken inside the extruder. Well, we know there's nothing in the extruder because I just cleared it with the no clogger. So that's not it. We just took apart the AMSHT, which is supposed to be the color it's swapping to, because it's supposed to go from that blue color there to the translucent, and it's not. We took that apart to see if there's anything stuck in the AMSHT. There's not anything in the PTFE tube. And then my only other possible theory is that the Hall sensor could be going bad. Oops, I don't want preview, but back to the device. I didn't mean to click that. Gotta wait for it to load. When I click on here, it goes to AMS slot 4 filament may be broken in the tool head. But we took AMS slot 4 out. We got 0783. 8003, I should say. There's the 8000. I wish these were in numerical order. There's a ton of codes. So what we're doing behind the scenes photos or footage, this is what we do behind the scenes. Troubleshooting and figure out things so that we can do content for you all. There's a lot of codes. Oh, okay. That's for the H2D though. I'll see if I can't. I don't think it'll let me copy and paste the code. I tried earlier. I gotta make it resume again to give me the code back. What are your all thoughts? Have you run into this in your machines before? Control F to search for your code. I will give that a shot. I tried to earlier. Oops. On this page. Control F. So it's 0700 dash 8003. 0 out of 0. It's possible I have the code wrong too, though. Oh, I think I gotta type in HMS underscore. It'll give me the code here and again in a second. So 0700 dash 8003 underscore 213823. So I have the code right, I think. Let's see. Rid of that. 0700 dash 8003 space 2 1 3823. 212823. 212823. And if that doesn't work, let's do Google. AMS error code. I don't see anything on this post-its. Okay, they're saying what I thought might have been the issue, putting weight inside of the filament, but I don't see anything on that one either. AMS is overloaded. Should be doing table film. Okay, here's something. Oh, it's taking me right back to where it was. But I'll control F it. Sometimes you have to do it this way. 0700. I don't know. I guess I'll have to email Bamboo and see what's with that particular error code. That's a new one for me. But doesn't mean the live stream stops though. So what I might want to happen to do is see if we can't take this AMS and use it on that machine. That's something we could try, I guess. This is a brand new. That is what we'll try. So when in doubt, use a different AMS and see if it's within the AMS or if it's with the printer. So we're going to cancel this print. Troubleshooting, guys, it's so much fun. We're going to cancel this print, clear that, cancel the print. You guys on screen share? No, you're not. Let me make sure you're on screen share. So we're going to go over here to Studio. I cleared the error code. We're going to stop the print. Yes. I'll have to clean my build plate off here and try again. So what we're going to do, this AMS that fell off the wall. Let's see if it works still. We're going to put this on that machine. So, which means I got to remove the PTFE tube, take the connectors off the back. I'm going to set this to the side here. Now, see, I'd be worried if that was the one that fell off the wall. It wasn't working anymore. But that was this one. Still intact, though. Including the AMS heater, which is nice. So we're going to plug these cables back in. Including our AMS HT and our PTFE tube into this. Correct this back around here. We're going to open this back up. We're going to swap our filament rolls back over. So, what did the other? Oh, I put it over here. So, first slot is Sunlu Black. I put the white in the third slot. And this blue in the fourth. So we got that in there. So now we'll go into Studio here, program these properly. This should be black. This should be white. Ironically, I had PTF or PETG in here before in this machine. Just change the colors around properly. And I'm going to go over to, I didn't take you guys off screen share when I was doing that, sorry. I'm going to go over to the machine. Now that we got the filament in there properly, I'm going to take my build plate off here since I don't have another one of these VQ build plates available. I'm going to scrape off prints that were on there before really carefully. I use a paint scraper for this just because I don't have very good luck with the scrapers that come with. I have yet drop in the comments if you have found a good printable scraper that you put those bamboo blades on because I've tried two or three of them now and I can't seem to find one that holds the blade on there while I scrape very well. That would be very helpful for me because I actually like those blades. I got to use it a couple times and then my patented, not patented hairspray. Even with the BQ plates, I still use them. Still use it. I spray it once away from our machines. This bed adhesion. Don't spray it in your machines. It's technically a fire hazard if you get it on the electrical stuff. So stay clear of your machines. You can also use PLA glue or not PLA glue, a glue stick or any of that. So I'm gonna put you back on screen share since that's back in there. So we're back to this. This is already sliced. So I want the PET G to be slot in the AMSHT because that's clear. The blue is the A4, PETG is A1, PETG is A3. Those are correct. So we're going to start this and see what happens. If this works and the prints go fine, that means it's with the AMS unit. So I'll get you off of screen share again. So that's another reason why it's handy to have a couple of AMS units because then you can troubleshoot whether it's with the AMS or if it's with the printer. Get this put back away here. So that's downloading. We've got that taken care of theoretically. So I don't know if you guys have seen that error code before or not. Like I said, the only time I've seen that kind of happen, it wasn't exactly the same, is when I had the hall sensor go bad. It couldn't detect that the filament was coming out of it, even though it did come out. So could be that. If that's it, I'll have to order a new hall sensor for that printer. I don't think those are expensive though. They're not. I think they're like $5 or $6. They will go bad over time. I'm not sure if Bamboo considers them a consumable or not, but just cleaning up some stuff here while I wait for that adhesive to come in the mail. I'll get it from Mailer Hackers. I appreciate that. I think it was David that said that it ships rather quickly. That would be handy for me if I can get it before first of the year. I can get this SCADA stuff going or SCOTUS stuff going. Is there anything that you guys would like to see printed for this SCOTUS? Uh, give you guys a shout out in one of our episodes if you like. There's something handy that you have found in your work. Or do you prefer a different system? Do you prefer the Gridfinity? Do you prefer what is it's the hex system? I can't think of what it is right now. It locks into place. Can't think of what it is. I saw it earlier today too. I was watching a video on it. Man, our A1 took that hit like a champ. David, I thought the same thing. So I guess in the Swedish language, that little over the little asterisk over the A makes it sound uh like an O. I don't know. I was corrected in a comment. I can't remember who the user was. And then I wound up Googling it because I was like, that's interesting. That's a fact I didn't know if it's true. And sure enough, I Googled it and I got the pronunciation for it. And it's a Swedish O. Um, I think it happens when from the native Swedish language, when it gets translated over to English, that's where that comes into play. Or are you saying an like an ah, like a long A? Let me make sure I'm not crazy. So I think, for some reason my computer's not letting me hear it right now, but according to yeah, I know, right? The Timu is Tamu. It's interesting to see during that. I was just about to drop in the live stream chat. I found this little thing here. For some reason, I can't hear it on my end, but that should be the correct pronunciation of the Swedish goddess Skådis. Uh, I'm not sure why I can't hear anything. Okay, so it's not the EMS. Zero F 07FF. FF. And which one is this exactly? C0032155423. Sure, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Wait, there's a filament sensor in the extruder, David. I'm going to show you the exact code that I'm seeing. So the exact code that we're seeing in this AMS unit right here, or not AMS, but 07FFC003, and I mean it's the same thing that it says right here when you look up the actual code on the Bamboo website, so it's not exactly very helpful. Connect to PTFE tube if you're about to use an air. So it keeps saying it hasn't pulled out the filament, which I don't understand because let me switch back to the live stream feed here. Oh, you guys didn't see the screen capture. Okay, so you can see my screen now. So, oh, I exited out of the code. This is the code. Not that. That's not the code. That's not the code. This is the code. Please fill out the filament on a spool holder. If this message persists, please see if there's broken filament in the extruder. I cleared it out, but I didn't know is there a filament sensor in the extruder? Are you talking about the Hall sensor? Back to my screen here. Are you talking about that ribbon cable Hall sensor thing that is right above the extruder, David? Because that's what I'm thinking too, is that that might have gone bad. I've seen something similar to this on another unit. Okay. I'm gonna have to order another one of those because I don't have another one on hand. I usually keep, but I actually it was like 3 weeks ago that I had this similar issue and I replaced it on my machine. So I'll order one of those and then uh, get it replaced and see if it fixes this issue. So until then, that printer is down and out. Just in case though, let me make sure that I'm gonna turn the machine to the side a bit here, just to make sure that there's no like weird PTFE kinks or anything. Because it has happened once to me that there was a no, there's no filament stuck on there. One time it happened that there was a piece of filament stuck in the tube near the buffer, but it's not the case this time. So that's what I'm gonna have to do. It's gonna have to be another Hall sensor. Okay. So let's see how much one of those cost. I'll do that on off camera. But yeah, so that's I'm gonna narrow it down to that because I don't think I've seen anything other. We've switched out AMS units, so that tells me it's not with the material system units. So it's with the printer, and if it's saying it's to take the filament out of the extruder or there's something stuck in it and there's not, it tells me that sensor went bad. So we'll change that out. We'll get that ordered and change it out. So, but I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're excited for your Snapmaker U1s when they get to you. I'm glad to see that I think two of you are getting yours pretty soon here. You got to let me know how those are going. Hopefully mine gets updated. I'll tune in with you guys next week. Catch us there. Uh,
remind me on that glow filament, Colin, if you are on next week, and I'll get you that. I'll let you know our little trade secret on that. It's a not necessarily a cheaper glow filament, but I'll get you that. And then I'll also share the link with you for our SCOTUS P1S riser that you can print. That the risers, the panels attach. You can print the panels and they attach right into the riser. So if you guys haven't, hit that like button, hit that smash that subscribe, and I'll catch you next week. Merry Christmas and be glorious.